Goofy probably has some pipe game. Not gonna lie.
Nobody's ready for everything that's about to happen, but we've made it to episode 9.
That is
can't
my
even grab the
wine
cookies.
glass, bitch.
That's fucking crazy. You can't even actually grab the cookies. That's
That's
unfortunate.
wild. But you know what's wilder? The Reddit stories that we have found today, all still around the theme of Halloween.
Nice.
See, I've managed. Recovery! Episode 9, baby! Oh, my lord. Okay. So, what subreddit did you find?
Am I the asshole? That's it.
Awesome. All right. So these are all themed around the Halloween, October, spooky season. Last episode we did some scary stuff. This one we found messy stuff because being messy can be just as scary as women. Anyway. Oh, yeah. I was about to jump right into it and skip so much. So we got Squishy. Teehee, you know us by now. And then we also got the boys. We got Shadow back. Where'd your jacket go? You undressed.
He's hot, man.
Oh,
Put your shirt back on!
You can't show us your forearms like that. That's scandalous.
Sorry.
And we have Papa.
Okay, I forgot. I'm sorry. I can't put skin on the. I can't put fucking pixels on the internet. I'll get sexual.
Call the church. He's gonna get all of the girls. The pick-me's are coming.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, God.
Not the
Alert.
picnic.
Shadow has
Oh my
equipped
gosh.
a second skin.
We're gonna hop right
Picnics are underway.
into some of the messy stuff that we have found.
God, no, please,
So,
no.
This first one comes from Best of Redditor Updates. It's originally from Am I the Asshole? And it is, am I the asshole for kicking my boyfriend's girl best friend out of my Halloween party because of her costume? So the trigger warning for this is infidelity. But teehee, you know? So original post is from 2022. None of that matters. I don't know, it's just something that's there. Hi everyone, I'll cut to the chase. I, 19 female, had a Halloween party over the weekend. I invited my boyfriend, 21 male, and a bunch of our friends over, including his girl best friend. I will call her Agatha. My boyfriend and I decided to dress up as Peter Pumpkin Eater. If you haven't seen the costume, the guy wears a shirt that says Peter, and the girl dresses as a pumpkin because, well, you know. And I was pretty excited just because I thought it was funny and cute. Agatha texted me the night before the party and asked what my costume was going to be. I explained the couple costume my boyfriend and I'd be wearing, and she replied she'd probably just come as a sexy cat. Fast forward to the night of the party. Everyone is having fun, nice time. Well, it was, until Agatha walked in, dressed as a pumpkin. She went over and hugged my boyfriend. I swear the room went silent. I was pissed. I asked if I could speak with her privately, and we went to my bedroom. Ooh, they went to the... Sorry. Anyway, I asked why she chose that costume, since she knew the details of the joint costume between my boyfriend and I. She said she didn't see the big deal and thought it would be a better group costume. I told her I don't think it was funny, and I'd prefer she change. I offered her a witch costume that she could borrow for the night. She turned red and started to yell that I don't get to control what she wears. I told her that she would be disrespecting my relationship by insinuating that my boyfriend and her have sex. She kept screaming about how it was funny and I needed to lighten up. I ended up asking her to leave. She stormed out of the house and I returned to the party. The mood had shifted. The night felt ruined. My boyfriend agrees that she crossed the line and is planning on cutting her off completely, but a few of our friends are saying that I was being dramatic and should have let her stay. Guess I'm just wondering, am I the asshole? I have posted on other forums and I have seen the podcast on TikTok. Not us. That's not us. That's not us, but that's funny.
No.
Anyway.
No.
I have seen the podcast on TikTok, and I feel like you all will be honest with me. Anyway, so that is the first part of the story.
Wild.
So, summarize it if it makes it. Summarize it for me. As well, because like I get she
Sexual
got mad
costume.
because some random chick, or not random chick, but the female friend showed up in the same costume as what she was going as for the and everything, and she got she's completely in the right to get fucking pissed.
You know what I think?
Shadow's
you know what I
beatboxing
think?
his point.
If I had a
Fuck
Yeah,
this.
fix up your mic real quick, Shadow.
like
Just- You're lagging out. We're getting
Yep.
sign language now.
We're gonna start.
No, you know what? You know what I think Girly was doing? Girly was trying to. Oh, that's a
Girly
wine
was
glass.
definitely trying to tap the dude.
I think Girly
fucking
has
is.
already been
boink.
tapping the dude.
Girl bestie.
Ooh, girl bestie turn into homewrecker?
Well, okay, so it's the
man's girl
boyfriend's
bestie
girl
has
best
been trying
friend.
to fuck around and find out for a
Oh,
while.
it's the boyfriend's girl?
It's the
girl best friend?
boyfriend's
Oh,
girl
hell yeah,
best
they're
friend.
bad.
And it's worse knowing
Yeah.
that, like, they did text each other saying, like, this is our joint couple costume as a sexual innuendo. And she said, I'll just be a sexy cat or something. And then shows up in a pumpkin to, like, that's not a group costume by any
That's-
means.
That's how they break it to the girlfriend that he's cheating on her. She
Dude,
wears
Shadow just
the
went flying.
the girl best friend wears, yeah.
Yep.
She wears
I think
the
that-
girl
I think
best
that
friend
lady
wears
was
the
just-
pumpkin.
I think she was fed up. I
Dude.
think she was trying to get the dude for so long, and then he got a girlfriend, and she was like, "Man, fuck this."
I'm gonna take a really long shot in the
Man,
dark
fuck
and
this
side with
hoe.
Squish. I think they were already sleeping together, and this was the girl best friend's way of saying, I won.
Well, there's a
Yeah.
part 2, isn't there?
Yes, there is. So, there was a relevant comment asking if she didn't understand the joke. And she responded, that was something I was considering, but she definitely understood the joke because she even had something to say, like, oh, you'll have fun after the party with that costume. While they were texting, you know, ooh, that's a text that wasn't said in person. Yikes. Okay, so she did understand what the joke was. Okay.
I'm
So-
just saying.
One update showed
Y'all really have more balls on us.
sometimes. Listen, so the first update was in November, and the OP simply said he is no longer friends with her. She showed her true colors, and they are no longer speaking. But there is another update in February of the next year saying, well, I have an update. I meant to post one a few months ago, but I really needed the time to process the events that occurred during this whole ordeal. I'm glad I waited, though, because you all needed to hear this one. Many people pointed out that my boyfriend must be sleeping with Agatha since she went absolutely bonkers for seemingly no reason. I thought since he immediately took
Yo!
my side and blocked her, that you were wrong. Well, it was me who was wrong. Turns out that Agatha and my boyfriend had been sleeping together for months, and they were really good at hiding it until she decided that she didn't want to be his mistress anymore. I found this out when I walked at... Oh no, I found this out when I was at his house and hanging out in his room. He was showering after a workout and I heard a vibrating noise. He had taken his phone and mine was right next to me, so I couldn't figure out what it was. I opened his bedside table drawer and found a second phone. My gut told me something wasn't right. Why would he have a second phone? It didn't take me long to guess his password. 1234. Really? Wow. And my fears were confirmed. There was a missed call from Agatha. I looked through the messages and found the truth. Not only had they been sleeping together, but she recently found out that she was pregnant. This was the reason she pulled the stunt on Halloween. She was trying to force his hand, dude. That's wild.
Bruh. What?
Oh
the-
no.
Y'all have too much balls. I swear to God, to just walk up to a party, yo,
So
get
she
your
was trying to
ass
force
together.
his hand.
I'm pregnant, and you're gonna have to come here.
I also saw that he was messaging other girls as well. I was completely devastated. After his shower, he found me grabbing all of my belongings, putting them in my bag. He asked why I was leaving, and I told him because we were finished. I threw his phone on the bed, and he looked like he was going to vomit. He started pleading me to hear him out, but I didn't want to hear it. He could have had all those other girls. I didn't want him anymore. He followed me out the house, shaking and crying. He even followed me all the way out to my car, trying to block my path. I went over the grass around him and didn't look back. He sent me a long message about how he never wanted to hurt me, that he wanted me back, and how he was using his work phone to text. You were using the work phone? That's wild. Anyway, I hope you get fired from your job. I sent his boss a nice little text message about how the company property was being misused. I saw on LinkedIn he no longer works for that company anymore. He is blocked on everything now. I hope him and Agatha have a magical life with their baby. Oh, I heard through the grapevine, I can't speak. Anyway, that he got one of the other women pregnant as well. I'm glad I dodged that bullet. As for me, I'm currently in therapy, working on my trust issues and learning how to love myself again. After this situation, I've been putting myself out there and have cut contact with anyone who knew what happened behind my back. Thank you all for the love and support. That's it.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Really? On your work phone?
One,
On your
two, three,
work phone
four.
that you're using as the scandal phone? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think what's worse is
Two
he
people
really
pregnant,
thought he
because she
was
said
slick.
another girl got pregnant at the end of the line.
Like, you thought you were so slick, and
How
the
long did he pull it
password
off?
was 1, 2, 3, 4. A couple months, apparently.
They only been dating a couple months. Okay. But you know what? It isn't that bad. If it was a longer relationship, then it'd
Well,
be like,
wait.
whoa.
Hold on. How long? I don't know if she specified how long they were together. What's worse is that she's 19 and he's 21.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, there is
No, that's fucking
no specification as to how long they were dating. Hold on.
Okay.
The relevant commenter is telling OP to make sure she goes to a doctor and gets an STD check. Oh, so people are wondering how she got the code that easily, and she said, quite simple, my ex was an idiot. His phone password was 0000, so it wasn't too hard to remember. So 1, 2, 3, 4 was not my first guess, but it worked. If it wasn't, I would have confronted him regardless.
Kind of goofy Doofenshmirtz machine password is that? That's silly. 000 and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's goofy.
So let's see, let's rack it up.
Oh, try
Cheating
and
on the
guess my-
girlfriend, got 2 girls pregnant, misusing the work phone. Really never work for IT, my guy. You have a horrible time with passwords. Good luck. Child support's expensive with your seemingly no job now.
Or a different job, at least.
And Shadow's having technical difficulties. If we acquire him again, I do not know.
We should. Unless his internet just went out.
But that was all for that one, man. I'm gonna pass the mic to you now. How messy did you get?
Sorry, I'm still in shock that I was right, and it went that direction.
I'm just more stunned that it's the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 just ruined your life, homie.
Alright. I might need...
Oh, that.
Ah, yeah!
Papa's
what is
over here
this?
indulging.
Galaxy Express.
Galaxy Express to being a deadbeat dad. Let's go!
Alright.
I can't wait for transparent objects to be more, less transparent. Where if you lay it down on this table and you didn't have the label there, it was empty, you would not know where the fuck that is.
Yeah.
I have two short... I have, 2 semi-short ones.
Right?
So... I have, am I the asshole for telling my sister that I like being the guy women regret?
Nope.
So, my sister got pregnant during her gap year and ended up as a single mother. She had to postpone college, and her and my nephew, Maddie, have had a hard time of it. They are doing okay now, but it was not great for a while. I'm 8 years younger than her, and I went to college right out of high school. Then I moved to Central America and studied an ecotourism business with a friend. I've been down there for 10 years now. I do pretty well and basically spent COVID doing nothing but scuba diving and kayaking. I'm a child-free and had a vasectomy when I was 20. I'm 32 now. I enjoy my life. I date locals, but mostly I hook up with women on vacation down there from North America or Europe. And yes, mostly young women. Why not? I'm relatively young. I'm healthy. I think I'm in great shape. I make a good living. I like them. They like me, and then they go away. I'm visiting my family in Calgary from Canada for Canadian Thanksgiving, and my sister and Maddie were there. And she started giving me shit for my lifestyle. She says my nephew wants a life like mine. She says that she hates the guy who got her pregnant and then disappeared. That she loves her son, but that she regrets the pregnancy that screwed up her life. And all those girls I'm with probably regret their time with me. I said I would love to give Maddie a job if he wants to come down, but that isn't all fun and games. I also said I kind of like being the guy women regret. I don't think I am. I don't promise them anything. I don't make our time together to be anything more than it is, and I do not get them pregnant. She says I'm an asshole for my attitude towards women and that she won't allow Matthew to come work for me. He's an adult. If he wants to give it a shot, it is up to him, I think. My parents are pissed at me for fighting with her and egging her on. I, however, didn't start the conversation or the fight. Am I the asshole?
That's
That one's not so clear. That one's not really so clear.
Why would you enjoy being the person that women regret?
Okay, here's
I
the
guess
thing.
not having an attachment,
It's-
like nothing holding you onto a past relation or hookup.
So it's
I
the
guess.
attachments, right? But he's technically not being the man or the guy that women regret. Because in her standpoint, she regrets getting with the guy that she got with in college that got her pregnant. He's doing the exact opposite.
Did they specify that she had been dating the guy or got a hookup in college and got pregnant?
No, it was just she got pregnant by
Because
somebody
that's one part. Because if she got a hookup and got pregnant, then she just was doing the same thing as the other dude. And it's like they're both in the same standpoint.
Seeing as someone that she regrets, then I would want to say that maybe she was dating them and then that happened. That's my boob.
Yeah. But the thing is, he's insulting himself more than anything, because being the guy that women regret hooking up with means either you just suck as a person, you're
But like he
horrendously ugly.
said,
He's doing good. He makes a good living. He had a vasectomy when he was 20. My baby.
So it's not in the, you have to think of the perspective of he's not getting women pregnant, so that way they can't regret him, but at the same time regret him because if they grow attached, it's not his problem because he's not attached.
So he's going around
It's like it's one of
being
those times,
a
yeah.
player, and she's upset because of her past issues with having somebody that she regrets.
Yes.
It-
And she
what
doesn't
makes more
want her
sense-
son to turn out like that because her son wants to be like him.
Yeah. I think like the
And
other
she
guy
doesn't want
was
that for her
probably
kid.
what her image probably is the other guy was a player but irresponsible. Like he was just going about it, saying all the empty words, getting them pregnant, and then ditching. And then this guy is saying it because he is responsible. He puts it right clear in front, concise. I'm not looking to build a family with you. I'm looking to have some fun and then dip.
See, we
So I guess in
have
that
names
point-
for guys like that.
That do get women pregnant. You know what they're called?
Sperm donors.
That is valid. And
Aha.
also, like, if the guy who's sleeping around, if he's being upfront with the women, being like, don't get attached, this is a no strings, this is a one night stand, you were honest. If a woman gets butthurt by that,
Yep.
at that point, I'll be honest, that's on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on her.
And if she doesn't want her son to be like that, then that's a separate conversation I think that needs to be had, where you sit down as like a family or whatever and be like, this is like not a good, because is this somebody that he's like in a relationship with? Is this a family member? That's the one part I for some reason skipped in my head.
Family member. It's his sister. So his older sister, as the kid, got pregnant in college,
Okay.
was a single mother. Her son wants to be like OP. OP is chill with it, saying, I'll give him a job, he can come work with me, all that kind of stuff. But it's no fun and games. The kid wants the lifestyle that OP has. The mother doesn't want him to have that lifestyle, therefore she's getting mad at OP
Okay,
for
so
being
at that
the way that he's
point,
being.
No. At that point, if you as the mother have like an issue with that, then you tell that to your son of like, I don't want that. But if he's saying like, I'll get you a good job as long as you like follow the guidelines and blah 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 blah, he's not really being a bad influence. He's just stating like, this is my lifestyle, but there's also like, I'm letting the women know like this isn't a serious thing. I can't get them pregnant. I have a vasectomy. Like, he's being a fuckboy in the safest way possible. That's not really a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not really a bad thing. And it's also a generational thing, because recently, people in this newer generation are less likely to make a family. And are more likely to want that solo kind of fuckboy, fuck around lifestyle. Just freedom to do whatever.
And that's a whole different rabbit hole to dive into.
The mother and the son, and then the other guy's like, yeah. So I'd say not clear asshole there. Like, it could be taken either way. There needs to be more context or another update to solidify it.
That's fair. Oh, a cat just touched my foot. Don't do that. I'm being yelled at by a cat.
Oh, that man is trying.
Yeah, he's...
Okay, and we're back. It was a weird intermission. Don't worry about it. Tee-hee-hee. This brings us to our third story. This one, I should preface now, is a lot. It's a lot. I did a brief scroll through. It is a lot. This is, again, originally from Am I the Asshole? It made its way to Best of Redder updates. So, yes. This is, am I the asshole for calling the police on my neighbors and calling her and her husband pedos at their Halloween? Like, not a W, but with a V. And she did preface that, yes, it's spelt right. So, throwaway, this comes from November of last year. My husband, 39, and I, 35, moved to this country when we first got married due to his work. We had our first child, 6, here, and then we moved to Germany, where our other 2, 4-year-old boy, 3-year-old girl, were born.
Oh, that's why it's Halloween. That's that German type shit.
His company decided to move him here again, but to the opposite side of the country, where we lived the last time after we had our 4th, 5 months. Oh, female, 5 months. So they have 4 kids total: 6-year-old, 4-year-old, 3-year-old, and a 5-month-old. So needless to say, we know the culture despite not being native. Our daughter started school this August for the first time, and a lot of her classmates live the same area that we do. One of the boys in her class lives at the end of the road behind us. When we first moved in the neighborhood back in May, we were welcomed by a few of our close neighbors and this boy's mother, let's call her Astrid. She took a shine to my baby. But most people fuss over babies, so I didn't think much of it. The same day, she told me how she lost 2 baby girls and how lucky I was to have so many girls, and she only had 3 boys. The day after, she came with her husband, let's call him Morton, and he too wanted to pick up the baby and paid her a lot of compliments. Until he met our eldest daughter and made a remark which I didn't think much of at the time. He said my daughter and his son could easily pass for twins as they are in the same class and look alike. They don't. My daughter is super blonde with gray eyes, and their son has dark blondish hair with hazel eyes. So I corrected him. He feigned offense and said that what he meant was they could pass for... He feigned offense and said what he meant was that she could pass for his daughter, the baby too. Again, I corrected him that his light brown hair and hazel eyes, neither of my girls could. He once again insisted, and I said, our features, not the coloring. Then he laughed it off and said that he was just joking. They then invited us to go out for drinks. We declined as neither one of us drinks and we don't like to be too friendly with the neighbors. During the summer, we bumped into them at the local store a few times. Morton and Astrid would call her, I'm gonna butcher this, would call her Julsterjean and sing a song from a famous movie here. I don't know what that means. I'm going to assume it is a term of endearment in German. And I forgot to look it up earlier, so we're going to hope that it's not offensive. After a few times, I told them to knock it off as it was no longer funny. Okay, you know what? Since she told him to knock it off, and this was a couple of times, I'm Googling the word real quick. So intermission break while I Google German. How do you spell this? Okay, so it's
my mystical force powers real quick.
LEST. Oh my god, thank you. So this means it is the term for a Christmas star. That's Oh, okay. So it's a poinsettia. It's either a poinsettia or a Christmas star. I'm seeing pictures of both. So it's a flower. It's a flower.
Oh.
So that makes more sense.
Well, they could have called them worse things.
At least they called the baby a flower, but that is still weird. So we got since May and up until last week ago, they have tried to invite us to many get-togethers, which I found strange as they hardly invite the neighbors and that they have known longer than us. Morton and Astrid would quite often talk to my daughter on her way back to school as she passes their house on the way home. She said that it bothers her as they both tried to pick her up, and Astrid has tried a few times to touch her hair. When my husband confronted them about it, they said it's just the culture here. It's not. The picking up and touching hair stopped after that. At the beginning of October, they wanted us to help them host a Halloween party at the end of October and wanted us to meet them at their house so we can all coordinate the children's costumes, especially the twins. They don't have twins. We declined again as we don't celebrate Halloween. They tried to convince us otherwise and they were very pushy. Even had their son knock on our door a few times to play with his twin after school. Knocking on doors to play with other children is normal, and most children roam about as it is safe neighborhood and country, so that part was never suspicious to me. However, after the umpteenth time of calling my daughter one of his twins, I put my foot down and said he needed to stop joking about it as it's not funny anymore. My husband goes offshore at times due to his work, and it has been me and the children since mid-October. My daughter's teacher also lives in the neighborhood, and she is a childhood friend of Astrid. She was present in the park by our house when Astrid came up to me and handed me 3 costumes, one for each of my girls. She said that we don't celebrate Halloween. Her and her husband have decided to host a Halloween party instead and wanted my girls to wear these. I was shocked but told her no, it would not happen. The teacher tried to convince me that this would be a nice way of meeting other families and it would be fun for our children. Astrid said she had spent a lot of money on adjusting the costumes and had found the right hairstyle for my daughter to go as Gretel to her son Hans. I told her no one made her spend money as I made it very clear that none of my children would be going. Right in front of me, she took the hairband off my daughter's hair and tried to put the one on that she had bought for the costume. I told her to stop and started walking off. She tried to apologize, said relax, that we are neighbors and friends. Her teacher followed me and said not to be uptight and that Astrid meant no harm, she just liked girls. On Monday, my daughter came home with a different hairstyle and accessories to what I had sent her off with. I asked her how she got them, and she said that her teacher had done her hair during lunch. I asked her if she had played rough, so her hair needed to be fixed, and she said no. Yesterday morning, I spoke to her teacher and confirmed that it was indeed her who had fixed her hair, and that it was Astrid who had bought the stuff. I asked her why she would go against my wishes, to which she said it was only hair stuff and Astrid didn't want it to be thrown away as she had spent money on it. She thought with 3 daughters I would appreciate some help with some free accessories. She also said that I had not made it explicitly clear to not fix daughter's hair. I left after telling her to never do it again, and she returned the stuff. In the evening, the neighborhood children went trick-or-treating. Those participating were informed that it would last from 6 to 8. I let my daughter go off and play with one of the other girls who wasn't trick-or-treating. About 7, I couldn't hear them. At about 7, I couldn't hear them, so I went outside to check. They were not there. I asked one of the other children if they had seen her, and they said Morton and Astrid had collected her in their car, and her friend had gone home. I asked next door to watch my other 2 while I ran with the baby to their place. When I arrived, they were having a party in the garden, and my daughter was there. She had her hair done, she had a candy bag, she was also wearing the costume Astrid had bought. So in my anger, I had called the police before speaking to anyone. Once I got off call, I called them both pedos and everything under the sun in multiple languages. When the police arrived, I spoke to them and we left. Today at school, her teacher was very short with me and said there was no need for that as Morton volunteers for the children's football club. Having a police report filed on him was not the wisest of choices. Choices. Christ. She explained that if it that if I wasn't happy, I should have asked for a mediation appointment at the school instead of embarrassing Astrid and Morton in front of everybody. She also mentioned that it was her who helped my daughter change into the costume. It's not unusual for teachers to help students change here. That part is particularly true for this country. She said Astrid has been grieving and her behavior is normal for somebody who has lost so many children one after the other, and to not make it harder on her as people have gossiped quite a bit about it. She said they didn't know they had crossed a line and it wouldn't happen again, so just drop the complaint at the police. On Friday, I have to make a full statement on the police station. She wants me to cancel it as Astrid and Morton are not bad people, and she thinks I should be glad that someone else thinks as highly of my daughters. She wasn't harmed, and she sees no reason for me being angry as the children all play in each other's gardens anyway. She said not to blow things out of proportion as there is no point. At no point was my daughter alone with Morton. Am I the asshole for calling the police instead of a mediation appointment at the school as the first step because it was a place of love and grief that they did this?
Well, they were in the garden, in the school, or in their house?
The garden was at the neighbor's house. The neighbors went and picked up OP's kid without her consent, changed her clothes, and took her to their house for a costume party.
So she's saying that instead of calling the police, she should have called mediation in a residential area outside of school, the school zone, and school, just general jurisdiction, because this has nothing to do with the school. This is the neighbors kidnapping your kid and taking them against your wishes into their house, changing them, changing their hairstyle.
I'll say it's
and
straight
not saying
abduction.
anything, not saying, hey, I got your kid, or they're over here, you're okay, you're a mom, and you go outside and your kid's not there. And the other kid's not there. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's abduction. That's a kidnapping charge.
Yeah, that's abduction.
Regardless of how you're mourning.
You literally grabbed the kid and you took him without the consent of the parent, without even letting them know. So I would say she is not the asshole. Those are some crazy fucking neighbors.
Go to the court and transfer, become homeschooled. The fact that the teacher is so adamant because she's friends with a neighbor to be like, no, it's okay, she meant well, she's grieving. Then go to therapy. Then go to therapy. It does not justify or condone kidnapping your neighbor's child and referring to them as your child on multiple occasions.
In front of the parents.
When they were told to stop.
In
The
front of
fact
the
that they're
parents.
like, there should have been a mediation
Exactly.
appointment. They were told no how many times?
And that's another thing. That teacher is just abusing power there because, like, the only way that she would have any, I think that's why she pointed out. If she had a mediation appointment in the school, she had a little bit more control over it, and that she could help out Astrid a little more, the neighbor. But I feel like that was just a really genuinely.
No, it was fucked up.
I
Hold
lost my
on.
train of
We are going to
Yeah,
have
that's fucked up.
a technical difficulty. Intermission. We'll come back in a second. Don't worry about it. Just know that we'll be there. See, Teehee, you didn't even know we were gone. So Squishy's been quiet for this. What are your thoughts so far?
I personally think that it's fucked. They need to go to jail. Cause I'm sorry, if someone did that to my kid, I'm throwing hands. I'll go to jail for assault.
And using the excuse that it's part of the culture? No!
It's the
The
fact that
fuck?
they tried to excuse it as a part of the culture, and then for the teacher to say they're grieving. Oh, then go to therapy. That is an issue, not an ish them.
Yeah, that is the teacher bringing in personal matters into their professional setting.
And the
Now,
teacher
there's
should be
a few
fired.
misdemeanors here.
The teacher should be fired. So
The teacher shouldn't be touching kids.
Especially if
that bad.
CPS was involved. That means the teacher is involved with people that wear pedals.
So
Is
ooh, this is
closely
gonna get
attached
messy.
to one of them.
The next update is 22 days after OP is posted, and they say, "Thank you all for the reassurance. It was helpful. A lot of people have asked about an update, and many DM'd me to see how it was going. We filed a report at the police station, and basically we were dismissed. We had 2 female officers on the first day, but a male officer came in and offered us some water, tried to do some small talk. He is the ex of my daughter's teacher and told us as much. We had to do the report over 2 days, as on the first day, my daughter was too tired to relay all the details. On the second appointment, we had... Oh my god, my mouse moved. On the second appointment, we had 2 female police officers, and her ex also joined us. It seemed like he had already talked to her teacher about it, but he denied it when I confronted him about it, citing confidentiality. I was told they would have a word with Astrid and Morton, but I doubt they took it seriously, as all 3 kind of defended their actions, wanting to know why I wouldn't let my daughter go to a party. When we got home, we had a knock on the door in the evening, and it was Astrid and Morton. I didn't open the door. On Saturday, the 11th, while my daughter was playing in the garden, sat with my neighbor, oh my lord, with my next door neighbor's children, she said Astrid was taking pictures of them from across the street. On Sunday, they came by again and kept...
Excuse you?
Ooh, and
Excuse me, what?
on Sunday, that's bad. They came by again, and they kept knocking on the door. They said they knew I was inside and they wanted to talk. I didn't open the door. I phoned the police, and they said if they didn't become violent, call back. In the meantime, just open the door and tell them you don't want to talk to them. I didn't, and they left. They left a message in my post box. It was a long message about how they felt connected to my daughter and how I should take better care of her. How they know how it feels like to lose a child and that they only want what's best for her. On the 15th, I kept my daughter from the school as she said that Astrid's son kept teasing her. Instead, I spoke to the principal about the matter and explained that I needed this absence validated. I took my daughter to the store, and I think maybe I was followed because not 5 minutes had gone by when Astrid walked in and bumped into me by the dairy section. She apologized and blocked me with her cart because I tried to get away. She started talking to my daughter and tried to stroke my baby's hair, so I screamed. That made her walk away. That day, after I found another note in my post box telling me not to be so hysterical, and I have that saved, I phoned my husband to come home or find a reason to get home ASAP. On the 18th, both Astrid and Morton confronted me in the park and wanted to know why I was keeping, they called her by that nickname again, so why I was keeping Flower away from them due to a misunderstanding. I told them politely, Morton is a big guy and I'm not as strong as him, that my husband was home, I lied, then walked away. I phoned the police and they gave them the latest evidence on the harassment, but they said that they would have a word with the 2. On Monday, I attended a meeting with the principal and the teacher where she apologized, but she made it out that it was a misunderstanding. The principal was very nice and told the teacher to back off sternly and not to mix her personal life with her professional life. Astrid and Morton came by my house that evening, and while I was attending to the laundry in the basement, they were talking to my girl in the garden. She let slip that her dad wasn't home yet. They gave her some cookies, but she threw them in the outside bin while they watched on. On Tuesday, they confronted us on the way to school and asked why I lied about my husband. Luckily, I wasn't alone, and one of my neighbors on the street told them to back off. On the way back from picking her up at the end of the day, we took a taxi home. In the evening, they were banging on my door again. They had their sons with them. I called the police, and they only arrived after they had left. I discussed it with my husband on the phone, and he managed to get 3 days off, but he won't be home before this weekend as his workplace didn't see it as an emergency until yesterday's incident. Yesterday, they came by again while we were in the park. I was preoccupied with my son. I noticed a tap on my shoulder. It was Morton holding my daughter, and he said I should take better care of her as she might walk into the road while my attention is elsewhere. He made it out as she had run out onto the street, but my daughter denied it. I grabbed her and the other children and left and packed some stuff. I asked my next door neighbor to collect my post and hold on to it while I booked a hotel. She informed me that the post office will do it for free for 14 days, but that she will look out for my house and note if they come by again. Words gone round that they are being a bit weird about my daughter. I have been staying in this hotel since, and my husband is arranging a ticket for us to visit my parents before the Christmas holidays. At this point, I don't want to stay here anymore. My husband will have to ask for a transfer. I spoke to the principal, and she said she would check in on my daughter on the morning and keep her at pickup time and that I can pick her up from the office. I haven't told the principal about our moving plans just in case she mentions it to another teacher and if it gets back to Astrid's friend. I hate lying, but I feel like if I don't, it puts us at many risks. One of my neighbors on the other side of the street said both Astrid and Morton have mentioned that they suspect I neglect my child and that they tried to insinuate that maybe I was too overwhelmed with 4 little ones while my husband was offshore. She told them that I wasn't, and that they have moved on to another neighbor trying to badmouth me. It seems like they are recruiting witnesses or helpers. So my neighbor said it's best to keep documentation in case they call CPS on us, and that they had to get a copy and confirmation from police that there is bad blood between us. My husband can deal with the paperwork and the aftermath and join us when he can arrange a transfer, but I am not staying here anymore. And there is still one more update.
Jesus Christ. So they are the ones that are going to be calling CPS. That's fucked up.
So
That's
they're
fucked up.
going
You'd be so obsessed
around,
with someone else's daughter, you're gonna call them to the cops so you can adopt them?
kidnap the daughter,
If you manage
constantly
to pull
going
off?
to their house, taking pictures of their daughter from across the street, trying to spread word in the neighborhood that they're horrid people. Like,
Grabbing her and carrying her.
harassment in public spaces.
Well,
Like,
no
she
one
can't
was
even go to the store.
I personally,
If these were my children, I would beat someone and go to jail for assault.
They would have caught hands by now.
Yeah. I imagine there's probably a little bit of hesitation because he did mention that the husband was bigger. It's like,
The wife would have caught
there's some
hands.
trepidation in that. The wife would have caught hands. Of 100%.
It's the fact that they're still not coping with their grief, and that they're
Hey,
even
he lives.
having their sons, like, go and tease the daughter now. Like, you're manipulating your children because you can't handle your own grief while also kidnapping another child.
You are not.
And Shadow, are you a Dusky?
You are not.
he so
No
is.
matter what I try, no matter what I try. No. So this is what's happening. This is what's happening.
Dude, I just
Everything
killed Papa to
loads
see you
up
walk in like that.
Perfectly fine.
Man, just
Except
trying to
for
hide us
whenever I
because of a
launch
sneak
Steam
stealth
VR.
game.
Whenever I launch Steam VR, everything just fucking halts for some reason, and it's I get like maybe 3 frames, and then it's just dead. And I was like,
Dude, Steam VR has been giving me some issues too, honestly. I haven't been able to open. I open Steam VR and
I
it
hate
just
it.
does nothing until I actually open VR advanced settings or toolkit, and then it'll actually open Steam VR.
Okay, Shadow, do we need to give
I
you like a
hate it.
little TLDR as of the recent story that we're still on?
Up to you, or I can just come in on the next one.
I'll just give you a rundown because I want your opinion on it a little bit. So here, let's do that. So OP and her husband have 4 children, 2 little girls. They moved. They've already lived in Germany. They understand the culture of Germany, but they ended up moving. Okay, their neighbors came over. They became like cordial enough, made comments out the gate that OP's daughter could pass as their child, as their daughter. It looks like the twin of their son. They look nothing alike. Okay, that was weird. They have made comments to the daughter, calling her nicknames. It means poinsettia when translated, like the Christmas flower.
Mhm.
They have been touching the daughter's hair. They've been really creepy with the daughter, saying how it's like their kid basically. And the mom has multiple times, OP has said like, don't do that. That's my kid. That's really weird. Stop doing that. For context, the neighbors, I don't know why, but they have lost 2 daughters in the past, and they have only sons.
Mhm.
So there was that. And basically, after the mom was like, you know, I don't want to be around you because you guys are with my kids, they were like, oh, come over for a Halloween party, and my son and your daughter will be Hansel and Gretel as like a cute little matching twin costume. And she was like, absolutely not. So what did they do? The neighbors kidnapped the daughter, brought her to their house, put her in the costume. OP finds out and contacts the police. And it's been this ongoing thing of like the neighbors being really weird with the daughter, regardless of what the mom is doing, to be like, stay the way away from my kid. The teacher of their school is friends with the creepy neighbors and is like trying to justify it as, well, they're grieving, da-da-da. So don't like file a police report. The police aren't taking it serious.
I don't give
OP's
a
husband
fuck.
is away.
Stop.
Nah, shit's crazy.
No. Fuck. after the first time, first off, they come around my kid again. After I tell them one time to not come around me, my family, or my children, they're getting shot. Like it's that simple. Two in the chest, one in the head, like double tap, bitch. Like I gave you a warning.
Just three.
No, the teacher, I would have. Oh well, they're great, bitch.
The
I
teacher
don't give
got
a
the
fuck
reprimand.
for what. I was gonna say, bitch. I don't give a fuck for one if they're grieving or not. I understand that. But one, this is a place of education, not a daycare. Two, it doesn't matter who you're friends with. That ain't your kid. That ain't her kid. That's my kid. And I can just as quickly remove them from your class and this school and the entire district as I can leave them here for you. So you figure out what actions and what path you want to go down. Like
So-
no, I tell you once, you get.
OP
Go ahead.
is moving. They are working on moving. The husband is going to have an emergency transfer because it has escalated to such a point where, as of current, the neighbors are going around saying that OP neglects her children and she's worried of CPS being called on them for no reason. And we still have one more update. So let's go. This update comes in December and it is the final update. A lot has happened in the last few days. I don't want to give too many details as the story has been leaked to a lot of social media without my approval. Oops, sorry, OP. Anyway, you've made it to VR chat. Hello.
We're defending you. You're not an asshole.
Yeah,
You're justified.
You are not the asshole.
I also don't want Astrid and Morton to find this.
Neighbors are.
Oh no, she doesn't want them to find it, but now it's on several platforms. I am at my parents'. We are all safe now. My husband will be joining us in the new year as he sorts out his new assignment. I won't say what country we are now in, as my husband said that Astrid came by the house under the guise of giving us Christmas cookies 2 days ago, wondering why my daughter hadn't been at school. Which means Astrid is going to the school or the teacher is snitching. So, that's weird. Before leaving...
Teacher snitching, most definitely.
Before leaving, I told the principal and not her teacher. Her principal understood and said it was her responsibility to relay that information to the class and the teacher. Today, she was at our place again, asking him where she was, as the principal told the class that my daughter was sad to leave, but we had moved. No other details given. She made her school friends drawings that were given to them. Sad, as I don't want her to contact her friends in case they say something to the wrong person. My daughter will make new friends, and hopefully she won't miss her Norwegian friends too much. I did tell my 2 closest neighbors on the day I was leaving, but they were always on friendly terms with me, and they were on my side all along. To be honest, I don't know where my husband might get sent next. For now, we are all safe. Thank you for the support. I don't know how to reply. There's been a lot going on. Please don't hold it against me. There are a few relevant comments. So... Somebody said, these people are scary. Did you get any details on what they said to CPS? They should have reports filed against with CPS, as surely they are a danger to children. Thank goodness you were able to leave the country. Make sure you continue to keep records of their behavior, as there's no telling how far they will go. OP said, yes, the CPS in Norway has to inform you who made the report and why it was made in a majority of cases. My husband said the reason for reporting was overwhelmed mother, neglect of eldest daughter, and leaving baby alone in park leaving baby alone in the park. I have not once left my baby alone in the park, not even with our own garden like most Norwegians do. Child missing too many days off school. The principal was aware of this. Child looking unkept and unwashed. Never happened. Adult third party saying oldest girl being hit by mother at home. I don't know who this third party is, and has already agreed to lie on their behalf, but there wasn't any visitors to my house, so I don't know who is pretending. I invited them over only for them to witness me hitting my child. And they even coached the son into saying that the OP's daughter was abused and that the mother was struggling with depression. The CPS ladies that visited us still wanted to see the children, but my husband declined, saying that they had left Norway for good and they were not Norwegian citizens. So CPS was contacted, but it was handled because by the time that CPS was like, yo, let me see the kids, OP had already left. And is no longer in that state or in that country. So they are safe.
You know what kind of vibes that family gives me? After hearing it, the way that they were taught, the way that they were there acting and everything, and just hearing where they were at and everything, like, you want to know what kind of vibes that honest to God gives me, and tell me if you guys get the same thing. You ever seen a movie called Midsummer?
Midsommar?
Tell me I'm wrong.
That's a fucked up
Tell me
comparison, by the way.
That's a horrid
fucked up
comparison.
It is. I know that it is. But tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. That
I
Little
will
Miss
tell you I'm
Hansel
wrong.
and-
The fucking... Okay, so
Little Miss Hansel and Gretel parents
much-
over there
how much of
kidnapping a kid
Midsummer
because we want them.
it's too graphic
Like-
to mention here.
Probably most of the
Because that's
movie.
fucked up.
Most of the movie.
Do you want to talk about the Lung
What I
Angel?
mean by that, is that community, like the beginning, like maybe 45 minutes when they first got to the country and everything, like that kind of a community is what that family, like creepy family, gives off to me and
A cult?
everything.
It's like
Like
that
we can just
closed
take her
off-
from this house over to our house and everything, and just we can have her for a little bit. It's okay. We're all part of a community. We'll just share children kind of attitude, and it's like
Share
no.
children is crazy.
It's like
Oh,
no,
Share
my
children
Lord.
is
share my
crazy.
child.
The
You-
fuck kind of Epstein-ass
my
country
child.
is that? The fuck? Sharing children?
That's what I fucking mean. That's what I
That's-
fucking mean.
I'm just glad OP is safe, but like props to her for
Exactly.
not throwing hands because I don't ever want
Mhm.
kids as a preference, but if I ever find out that somebody kidnapped my
I'll throw
child
hands.
for a Halloween party and changed their clothes and blah 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 and made multiple comments already of like I would have cut contact before the Halloween party could have ever been mentioned. The second you come into my house and say, "Oh, they could be my kid." Get out. That is my child.
You're gone.
Like that is no contact
Yeah.
right there.
And it's not even
Yep,
like the
yep,
usual, because most people, what they do to actually make it more comfortable is basically like an uncle and auntie. Thing like that. It's like if you actually interact with the parents and not the children, not the kid, because all they're doing is just talking to the girl and not talking to the parent.
The parents.
They're using the parent to get to the kid.
That's
But
creepy.
that's how you actually get closer to the kid. You have to get closer to the parents, and setting that boundary off immediately is not the way to go.
I'm just glad OP is safe because dude. I'm glad they got the hell out of there. Especially for like not even the police taking this seriously. And I understand police have protocols that they need to follow, and a lot of those protocols do typically lie in if nobody's injured, we can't do anything. But kidnapping is something you can do something for. Your child was kidnapped. That's what that. I hope she marked it as
the
that.
kid's okay.
I'm just glad all of them are out.
That's
Like,
another problem, because some places
Right.
that just brush it off and don't even like put out the paperwork all the way up. Like a lot of in the day to day, there's a lot of cases of kidnapping that are not considered kidnapping, and they are kidnapping. It's just that people don't consider them kidnapping.
I'll say I hope that got marked as
Yeah.
kidnapping because that is actually what that was. The fact that throughout the story it just said it was a complaint. No.
Yeah.
That's kidnapping. They took your child without your knowledge or without your consent and took them to their house. Kidnapping.
We live in a small town, and all of these people that are part of this like all of these people around you currently are. She's in the fucking like wall corner fucking bench over there. But that's we've all lived here and grown up together all of our lives, so everybody that works in this town is friends with everybody, and so we're gonna I just shook my head like you could fucking see me. God, I hate being on desktop.
Just shake your mouse around.
Just shake your mouth around.
Yes.
Very expressive, Shadow.
Like the cops not doing anything to me gives off that she's either friends with them or has ties
detail
to
that we
somebody
didn't
has
mention.
enough money.
When the mother went to the police station to file the report, the male officer that first attended her was the ex of the teacher.
True.
So it's all just a closed loop circuit. It's everybody knows each
Yeah, no,
other, and
that's
everybody.
that's a little like 800 person population town max. Like
Yeah, it's
maybe
bad.
not even that. Like maybe 400.
No, because that type shit wouldn't happen in a big city. In a big city, that type shit wouldn't happen. That only happened in like little suburban like outcroppings. Because there's those little like cut off society people.
Oh yeah, that again. I'm sorry that it's what I use, but Midsummer.
I hate it here.
God,
Again,
it's just.
I'm glad.
It's
I'm
just
glad
I don't
that
want
OP
to think of Midsummer
and Friend Otter is safe.
pedophiles and the
I'm sorry, we'll just be grateful that they're got out and they're safe. That movie's terrifying.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that. If a fifth
Mid-16
update comes out and they happen to have that they hire a private investigator and tracked her across the country, that's gonna be crazy.
It's not even that. No. It's not even. They're in a different country, and good on them. Fucking come to the States.
And the thing is, because the police didn't take it
have an
seriously,
army.
they couldn't file a restraining order. Because the police just wasn't like, what's the point of it? Like, they weren't taking it seriously enough. They weren't going to grant it.
Hey, listen. Worst case, if you can't escape them, come to the States. Yes, it's a shitty fucking situation, but at least you'll have some people with guns that enjoy hunting down PDF files on the internet for you. You know, they'll hunt them down real good and download them really, really quick for you.
Download them. Oh my god.
So,
all right, you know what?
You don't want to download the PDF files.
While my co-host is getting herself situated, we'll be right back. I'm gonna pause this again. Teehee intermission that you won't know about.
Yeah.
See, Teehee, you didn't even know we were gone. Ta-da! Anyway, we actually have one more story for tonight. And that is why we had the intermission break. We need my beautiful Pookie co-host wife, her, because it's her story. She found it.
Blame my fiance for my lack of going off and then coming back.
Tell Wonder
Yes,
to
you did.
wait for smooches.
Blame the beautiful man. It's always their
Give
fault.
us the beautiful man. We want to hear him.
There's got to be an episode where we just...
Domestic abuse?
That's wild!
That is so what you said.
A warning tap.
You didn't say
Domestic
it, I
violence?
was.
That's my fucking tit.
Quick.
You know, we need an episode of just the boys.
Why
on.
are you giving me a jack bath,
Yeah.
Papa?
Don't
Okay.
worry about it.
Now, are you guys ready?
Get me ready for body
Yes.
shots. Yeah.
Let me...
Stop doing body shots over there.
Here, let me sit like Shadow and
Stop
Desktop.
touching my boob!
Hey, I'm just happy that this Abby's crouch animation is this like kicked back like setting animation, not the weird like bowed knee fucking pigeon-toed like looks like you're trying to take a shit in the woods crouch.
I sit like I have
Scoliosis
go-go.
ass. Night being fired.
There's gonna be weird
This is gonna
time frame.
It was
easy
with
to
the
edit.
conviction. It was with the conviction of you're gonna wait a minute. I'm gonna deal with this first.
Listen, I will say we're not a normal podcast already, considering the fact that it's in VR chat, and I have to tab out to not only read stories but to pause, start, all of that. So if people like it, you guys get to cope. If you're listening to this right now, I don't care if you're washing dishes. I don't care if you're driving. Well, if you are driving, hello, drive safe, wear your seatbelt. But whatever you're doing, I hope you
That's
just
that guy
survive.
on the right. He's going too slow.
Yo, if you're driving, I want you to look in your rearview mirror. Is somebody riding your ass? Brake check them. Mario Kart up in this.
Yes.
Blue
Yes.
shell.
Play some bumper cars. Make them
Is it
learn
a
not
truck?
to be an
Brake check
asshole
them
and
even
ride your
worse.
ass the entire time.
I'm kidding. Don't take advice from
Or
grown adults
unless-
who
okay.
enjoy the pixel game. It's probably a bad idea.
Okay. Actually, on a real note, the only time it's not acceptable for you to brake check somebody who's riding your ass is if you're not doing the speed limit at minimum. If you're going less than the speed limit and somebody's riding your ass, that ain't a chance for you to brake check. That's a you get the fuck out the way and let the people who know how to drive. Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
I hate driving. If I could be a passenger princess, I will.
I love driving long distances.
I did
doing
my
long
time.
I would
road
like to
trips
drive.
to where I'm on the interstate for most of it, so I can just open up and fucking go. Like my drive home this last weekend. I loved that. That was great. That was fun. Also,
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how whales are born.
No, horrible
Brother.
commercial break.
no, what do you mean? Like
Oh,
it
God.
it sounds aggressive, but it's actually majestic.
I
And very
hate
bloody.
you both.
They
know what's
come out
squishy?
alive and swimming.
You know what's messier than whales giving birth? Whatever she found. I will always find a way to turn it around.
So,
Always.
Duke, go lay down in your kennel. Go in. Go, you little fluff butt. Or lay down on your bed. That works. All right. So this is, am I the asshole?
I just want cuckoos.
So am I the asshole for telling my sister I hope her husband cheats on her after she ruined my wedding dress?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
Get it, girlfriend.
here's
Maybe.
the deal. I, 29 female, have been engaged for about a year. I'm getting married in 3 months. Like many brides, my wedding dress is a big deal to me. I spent months picking it out, and it cost more than I care to admit. It's a gorgeous custom-made gown that I was keeping at my mom's house because I wanted to avoid any accidents at home. I have a dog that sheds like crazy. My sister, 34 female, recently had some sort of life-changing epiphany and decided she's done with fast fashion and wants to live a more eco-conscious lifestyle. Cool, right? Except she's taking it to a weird level. Constantly shaming me and others about our choices, like buying new clothes instead of thrifted. She's also become super into DIY projects, most of which end up looking like a Pinterest fail, but whatever, I wasn't gonna say anything. Fast forward to last weekend, I stopped by my mom's house to check out the dress and to make sure everything was fine. When I opened the garment bag, my heart legit stopped. My sister, in all her DIY glory, had dyed my wedding dress.
Huh?
Apparently, she thought the white was too traditional and boring and decided to upcycle it by dip dyeing the bottom half in a hideous tie-dye rainbow pattern. Her words, I made it more fun and unique. You'll stand out.
No.
I
She's the
lost
bride!
it.
She's the bride!
I screamed at her and she just stood there acting like I was being overdramatic. She kept saying that she was just trying to help and that it's just a dress. I told her she's a selfish psycho and never to speak to me again. Then, and this is where I might be the asshole, I said, I hope your husband gets so sick of your controlling, self-righteous BS that he cheats on you. She started crying me and called me a bunch of names saying I crossed the line. Now my mom is mad at me saying my sister was only trying to do something nice and I didn't need to take it that far. She's insisting I apologize for the cheating comment, but I feel like I was justified in saying it. My fiance thinks my sister is nuts, but even he raised an eyebrow at the last comment and said I might have gone too far. Am I the asshole for saying what I said, or is my sister just the worst?
Honestly,
She is
if
lucky
she's
that
doing
it was
shit
words.
to your wedding dress. Yeah.
She's
Honestly,
lucky it was words and not
I want to
hands.
see the husband's perspective. I want to see the husband or the soon-to-be husband's perspective because he probably paid for the dress. And then she's like, my sister just dyed this bitch a rainbow. I'm like, what? Like that? What? Like the $5,000, $6,000 dress?
Oh, dude. That hurts. That hurts. Because, okay, so I know I've given you guys a rough ballpark of my wedding dress. So for reference, if for all the fun little listeners, I know
what it looks like.
I'm getting married next year. She's also getting married. I went wedding dress shopping in August with my parents. we did find the dress. We bought the dress. I don't get to see it until May of next year. It takes that long for it to be made. But that dress the total price of that dress was $4,100.
Yeah, wedding dresses aren't that cheap.
I mean, it's lace, isn't it?
Some are lace, some are silk, some are, I think, just straight cotton. Some have designs, patterns, jewels, some don't. Some have slits in the sleeves, and then you got like alterations and all that kind of stuff. It starts to add up after a while.
Yeah, so the reason that one ended up being as expensive as it was too is you have an option of getting the dress to be fit to like all around one basic size. Regardless, you still have to get the dress altered when you receive it. It is never going to be pinpoint. The alterations are just minor at that point, but you have two options. Say you get like a solid 2, right? So everything is a 2. Or if your body proportions vary, say like in the chest area you're a 2, in the waist you're a 3, in the like whatever, right? You can get it kind of split up, and it costs more to do that. That is the option that we did to ensure the alterations are less later. The alterations they ballparked around $300. But here's the thing with that dress, she has seen it. The people who were there that day, I cried the second it was on. That was the dress. I loved everything about it. I loved the way it looked. If I only have one sibling, so I just have to use him for theory. If my brother came to me and said, I thought your dress could use a more unique flair, and I dyed it, there would not be words. There would not be words. It would be, somebody will pull me away from you, or the cops are intervening, because I will pummel you into the ground so quickly. And it wouldn't even be me. Actually, it would be my dad, because he paid for that dress. You would see Jesus. If you get a wedding dress, you got that because you loved the way it looked. And if she wanted the traditional white look for the sister to be like, tee-hee, I dyed it rainbow. If you want that for your wedding dress, that's great. You can do that at your wedding. At your wedding. You don't do that for somebody else's.
With your thrifted wedding dress that you found in the corner shop for $51.
That hurts because there's no undoing that.
Someone would be dead.
Let's say ballpark a $5,000 dress, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, and everybody, you know, picture the scene, right? Everybody's standing there, the sister's all giddy and stuff as she's pulling the dress out and everything else. As soon as I see that, and I see that my fiance is upset and everything else, before she even has a chance to say anything, I would be looking at them and simply being like, you have two options. One, you are buying a brand new dress, this exact dress, actually, but in its original form. Or two, you are paying me $5,000.
Yeah, take that to small claims court.
They can try to say anything that they wanted to. One of two options. If you still want to be a part of my family, you have one of two options. And if you decide to pick neither of those options, then you can go ahead and delete me from any and everything within your life, because you are no longer a part of mine.
Dude, that's just...
That just shows signs of something deeper.
That sounds jealousy.
There would be a murder. There would be a dead person.
Look, coming from someone that dresses in suits every day, I've bought expensive suits. I care over them.
There would be a murder. I would be in jail for first-degree murder.
I'm gonna tell you now, $5,000 suit, you do that to it, they won't find your documents.
Dude, it's like the only sane way to handle this is like
all of it.
the sister needs an ultimatum, right? Okay, so first I should preface, I do not think OP is the asshole. I think that is the nicest way they could have said something. because for me personally, and I think for all of us in here, it would have been hands. It would not be, I hope your husband cheats on you.
Yep.
It would be the police pulling us apart, because that is like a different line.
I would be like, I would ask the fiance, be like, set him up with another bitch, please, or I'll do it myself.
I hope your husband cheats on you. That's child's play. That's fucking child's play. You want
Bitch,
to
I'll
get
take
mean and
the
nitty and gritty and
biggest
everything?
knife in the
I
kitchen.
hope you never have. No. You want to get nitty and gritty and everything? I hope you're never able to give birth to children anymore, and your lineage stops with you, and you live a long and sad life because everybody within your friends, family, and spouse leaves you because you can't provide anything for anybody within this world anymore.
Dude, safe to say though, I genuinely hope OP one cuts contact with the sister entirely. Not invited to the wedding. You are going no contact. But also contact the police. She damaged your property, and she will be repairing it and replacing it. Because you can't repair tie-dye, unfortunately. I don't think there's a way to get that out unless you want to bleach a dress, which could be even worse.
Bleach. It could
So-
ruin it.
It's even more expensive than
Especially
the
if
original
it's
dress
not an
to try and fix
all-white
it.
dress. Exactly, that too.
I
Because
will take
you'd have to take.
the biggest fucking knife out of the goddamn fucking kitchen, and you will be going to the depths of hell and getting incinerated by Satan himself just to be reincarnated to figure it all out again.
You good, Pookie?
I thought you were gonna take the biggest Shinder Nutella or something. I got scared. You said
I-
knives, and I was like, okay.
You go.
Sorry. Sorry, I just, I already have a lot of shit
No,
going
somebody would
wrong
die.
with my wedding plans, and I'm already envisioning this one pouring wine on someone that is not a female.
I will come in with a
Fucking knew
super
it, guy.
soaker full of red wine. I got you. I got you.
I want you standing at the altar with that super soaker just being like, all right, bitches, I'm strapped.
That's why whenever the pastor is like, if anybody like doesn't agree, I will literally I'm
Yeah.
there. Say you don't agree. I dare you.
Disagree
Now,
or
what if
forever hold your
somebody-
peace. You just pull,
Watch.
you just pull out the Glock. It's a red.
I was gonna say now what if somebody who's really like within the close friend group though stands up or anything like as a joke, but is also like pre-planned beforehand, obviously. But somebody actually stands up as a
If we knew about it, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. Because we know it's a joke, right? That's the thing.
okay. What
if it was
okay? So what if it was a close
Y'all have
friend? who
claim
didn't know
over
about it, but
everything
they
over there.
stand up?
soak 'em.
Got you. I got you. Because here's the thing, especially when it comes to that dress. If the sister had gone to OP being like, yo, I want to give you a personalized style to make it more original. Can I tie-dye the dress? All right. You were given approval if she said yes. There you go. It's the fact that you didn't because you're so controlling that you're like, teehee, now you're more unique. Not everybody wants that, okay?
Yeah,
Listen,
you didn't.
that's not what everybody wants at a wedding. That dress is expensive. They paid a lot of money to have it in white. They could have paid extra if they wanted it in rainbow, but she didn't.
I'm pretty sure she did it just to be hateful. I'm pretty
She
sure
did
just
it. That's a
wanted to be
jealousy
hateful.
move. That 100% is nothing but jealousy.
Your marriage is gonna go better than my marriage. Therefore, fuck you, bitch. I'm gonna
Based
do
on her
this to your
behavior,
dress.
I imagine there's a deeper level to the sister's problems, and the whole the reason I consider the OP not to be the asshole is because I believe that the husband soon probably will be.
No, plot twist. The reason she got all butthurt and started crying is her husband's already
She's
cheating on
mentally
her.
ill.
Also, okay, question. In the post, because I don't remember, did OP's mom stand with the sister or with OP?
Stood with the
the
sister. She
sister.
was mad
There we go.
because of the
Sister.
last comment of
Okay.
her husband, like her saying she hopes her
Golden
husband
child
cheats on
syndrome.
her.
That's golden child syndrome.
Golden
Exactly.
child syndrome.
That is a child who their entire life has been told they do no wrong because they're so unique, they're so quirky. And the mom always back them to allow them to do bad things and be like, teehee, my daughter does no wrong. So when it comes to sibling rivalry like that, you were the bad guy when they fuck up. You were the bad guy when they do the bad thing and you put your foot down and it's, oh, you can't do that. They're family. They're your sibling. Nope. That is enabling behavior. You are enabling the sister. Somebody's paying for a new dress and it is not OP or her husband.
Huh. I used to know somebody like that.
I know
No.
someone like that.
They just were an only child and didn't have siblings.
I have
They
no
had
comment.
4 siblings, and I am straightly related to them.
You know what?
Damn.
I'd say that before we go on a lore rant, I'm gonna call the episode here. And I hope you guys learned
fucking
I hope you all learned a lesson of a lot of things. Don't touch kids that aren't yours. Don't kidnap kids. Don't dye wedding dresses. What else? What other lessons did we learn? If it's not yours, don't touch it. People and belongings. Like everything. If it's not yours, don't fucking touch it.
Exactly. Don't act like some midsummer cult freak that's trying to steal children.
Exactly.
For their
Don't take things that aren't yours, whether it's people, whether it's belongings, all of the above. And you know what? With that, we will see you guys in the next episode. We actually have a little plan for you guys. So we'll see you there. All right. And that's kind of like all I got on that.
Ooh.